I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Guess what? We're back again, but I'm joined by this time Wiley. Listen, Wiley,
What's happening?
you
Can't
tell
believe
me.
it.
Let's
I
get
can't
into
believe
it.
it. No. Do you know? What do you think? What was your takeaway?
It was better than I expected. It delivered and more. It's like I went to a 5-star Michelin restaurant and I got delivered 10.
Yeah.
And my belly was full and I still wanted to eat more and more because the food just tastes that good. That was what last night was to me.
All right.
I was lapping that up.
Me too.
True
Me
fan.
too. Me too. Me too. Do you know when we was talking the other day,
Yeah.
and we was basically, if you watch Conor fight, you know he has that explosiveness, right? Everyone knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was on display, right? I guess, you know, from his dad's point of view, like, or who was in his corner, maybe they would have like said, "Oh, relax a bit," but he just was a savage. He's a savage, isn't he?
That
Right?
was old school. Yeah, that fight was old school. I was back in the 90s. It wasn't about how beautiful they look. No disrespect to the fighters today, but they're more on a vanity tip than let's go to war. We saw war last night. We saw the rules being broken. We saw the ref having to drag them off each other. We saw man putting his elbow in his face to try and push man out the ring. We saw, after the break, hooks being thrown in. To me, it's already a classic.
It is a classic. It is a classic, and I'm so glad the senior went there. You gotta go there, innit? It's your children.
Bro, I lost my voice when he turned up. I jumped out my chair. I was at home streaming. I couldn't believe it.
Okay. Crazy, man. And you know what, Conor, he you know, in boxing, sometimes and just in life, people they want more, right? So you see, they do well in this division. Okay, they want to go up to this. Like, there's people who challenge themselves, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Right. Terence Crawford's doing it now with Canelo, right? And when you do that, that is actually where you find the greatness. The greatness is it's in a weird place. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Greatness is in a weird place, man.
Because they're both turned up for each other. I've never seen Conor fight like that before. Bearing in mind, he's gone in there at 165, maybe he's gone in there at 170. Yeah. And he's allegedly a 147 fighter. That's what his career weight is. I've never seen him box like that.
Savage, man. Savage. But you know what it is as well? Like, I guess Eubank Jr. was shocked as well.
Yeah. And he said that. He said I underestimated him.
Yeah. But what Conor was displaying was like, like he's ferocious, right? Is it going to work in this fight? And it was working. Like at first, I was like, "Oh my god, is my man too big?" Blah blah blah. Listening to all the interviews, but then it was starting to work. He caught him, bruv. When he caught him, I was like, "Shit, okay." The ferociousness can translate, right? I guess it's just Chris is more experienced, but he's older as well.
Yeah.
And it's like the way, even like Aaron McKenna.
The
way did you see how he dealt with Liam Smith?
Yeah. He boxed around him. That was the boxing IQ. I'm not even going to get into Vidal Riley. Shout out to Vidal Riley.
Vidal Riley, my brother.
Listen. We saw. We you know what?
What?
Should we go back? Should we go back to Vidal Riley first? And let me say hello to the chat as well. Let's go back to Vidal Riley, because shout out to Vidal Riley. we've got Molly Pre 23, Wiley Cat, EJ Boxing Live saying hi as well. And Molly Pre sends greetings from Belgium to shout out to you. It was a great slugfest, EJ. It was an absolute war. We're going to go back into that. Shout out to JD Dyer. What a fight. And somebody from Norfolk has actually got the audacity to say, not a Brum accent, for fuck's sake. Get off, man. What's wrong with yourself, yeah? So listen, all right, let's go back to Vidal Riley. I've been a fan of his for a while, and I'll tell you what, he's such a gentleman. I brought my son to one of these Misfits things because, you know, he was linked in with KSI. Took my son to one side, gave him like the dad, the big brother lecture on what to do with his life. Didn't have to do that. Proper humility. Doesn't think he's better than anybody else. Look, he's massive on YouTube.
He's good-hearted.
Yeah.
Clean-hearted.
Home training and manners, really brought up well. So I wanted the fight with him and Chev Clark. I've been calling for it for ages because I knew that the fight would gel well. But Vidal just listen.
Because I've liked Chev Clark. I didn't have a clue that these two could be connected.
Oh, I knew that.
You tell me how.
Because they've sparred before. They're obviously at the same weight. They're sort of on a similar trajectory. People didn't really believe that much in Vidal because obviously he's come out of like the YouTube background, but he's got a really good like amateur pedigree and he's been boxing for a minute. He's had the one trainer, which is his father, to shout out Pops. Because there was lots of times when people were trying to get in Vidal's ear to tell him to leave his dad and go to other trainers. And Vidal was like, nah, I'm staying with my Pops. So you understand that there's a level of humility and respect about Vidal. He's got that down to earthness. But when we talk about fights, I know that Vidal can box. He might not be the one that's going around knocking man out, but he can move. Now, how old school was that fight that we saw yesterday with the way he was slipping, coming in with the shots, like the slips and the counters from Vidal, and the punch output as well was phenomenal.
He trains hard, you know. He trains a lot. He trains other people as well. Like, he's doing a lot. And when you do that, and sometimes you're in the mindset of, you know what, should I just train people, or should I actually do it, or should I, like, God will let you know. Yeah, like God will let you know, bruv. Like, you're young. You don't just have to train, bruv. If you want to do your thing, go and do it. Like, so in that ring, bruv. But I know he's good anyway. I know he's good. One thing I know about that man, that boy, he's like, how old is he? 27, 28?
27. He's still young, man.
Listen, he trains. That is one thing I know. He's not just. I've seen previous fights of him, and I even can see there, like, he does train. He trains. He's someone who can go places. He doesn't just have to be a trainer, even if he's in just that mindset sometimes, you know?
Yeah, he's multi-talented. He does rapping. He produces music. He's got his own like podcast, YouTube channel, a fighter. He's extremely talented. But credit to Chev Clark, you know?
Yeah,
Chev Clark,
come back again. He can come back again.
Yeah, but he changed trainers. He's with Joshua Boat's trainer, Virgil Hunter. Yeah, he wasn't with his normal trainer. And that must have been last minute.
I see Virgil. Sorry, I thought he might have been with him prior.
Nah. So that was like, I don't know if that was last minute. Could that have impacted the fight? But whatever it was, Vidal was just too good.
Vidal was good. Chev can come back. Yeah, Vidal's good though. I when I was watching him, I realized, you know what, I'm not surprised, because the way that he trains and the fact he's training other people, he's got to know something of what's going on. And I've seen these prior fights anyway. I rate him still. Yeah.
But then we can go on to, like I said, McKenna as well.
Bro.
Listen,
I'm only saying it, you know, because, listen, I like Liam Smith. But I'm saying it from a standpoint of, you know, as you get older, it's like you can't be 20 years old twice.
Yeah, right? For real. In your head you can, but physically,
it's gone. And that's what I had to kind of learn, right? And it's like, whatever you do, it's like when you're young and you're coming into something, at some point you have to take hold of what's going on and become yourself, right? And like last night, listen, this is how much I rate Liam Smith. Before yesterday, I'll be, you know, whoever he's got to fight, is he going to fight Chris again? I will be in suggestion mode, right? You see, yesterday's performance, if I was his mate, I would say, Core, we're getting a bit old, aren't we? You know, we're getting on a bit. You know, the young bucks are coming through, blah, 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 right? If I was, you know, in his... Because if I watch that, I'd be thinking, bloody hell, the young bucks are on their way.
Him up, man.
Oh, my... It was like... And I know Liam Smith is better than that, okay? But Aaron McKenna was, it's like he was put on a masterclass, but he's a pickney though. He's a kid. How did he do that?
He's got good angles. He was switching as well. He was going from southpaw to orthodox to southpaw. He was using the lateral lines. He was comfortable on the back foot. He was able to punch round the guard. He was able to punch under the elbow guard. What I saw from Aaron McKenna was just pure IQ.
Pure IQ.
But beautifully dedicated into how he executed it, because he did make Liam Smith look old in there. And I think the better the opponent that you face, it just makes you look bad. It's just like you going, you know, you're going up there on stage and there's an okay MC. It's cool. He's doing bits. But when you go on there and you brock him up, it makes him look crap. Well, and that is just it. We're talking about like levels.
This is what I'm saying, Abs. Because I am now older, okay? I know in which I know what I can and what, but listen, now I'm older. I actually always understood like evolution. Like I can remember being like 19, 20, and then we got MCs like 17, 18, 16. Tinchy Strider was like 12.
Okay. Wow.
Tinchy Strider. I got things in boots under the Tinchy Strider was really young, right? So I understand evolution, like I really do. But yesterday, watching Aaron McKenna, it reminded me of like I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna go on a stage. There's a young buck coming through. Not for me. I'm like over 40. I'm blessed now. I'm 40.
I hear it.
No, like Godfather, bless up, bless.
I hear it.
But for whoever's younger, or they're 31, or you know, like Stormzy, Chipmunk, like this age, they're gonna compete with each other, aren't they?
For real.
And whoever's younger
is coming up to eat them.
Is coming.
And this is how it works. This is what I'm saying. This is how it works. You can get to the top of the hill. Roy Jones Jr. said to me, you can get to the top of the hill as a fighter. That's the easy part. It's staying there. That's the problem, because everyone is trying to get to that top of the hill and they want to take your spot. Can you hold on to that spot? That's the hard part. I never forget Roy Jones Jr. when he told me that. And this is what we're seeing. These fighters, they get to a certain age. The fighting mentality never leaves them. A true warrior will always be a true warrior. Liam Smith is one of those guys. But then it's like the young bucks are going to come up
100.
and they're going to make you look inadequate. And then it's dealing with that.
It is, man. And listen, this is probably why, you know, why we noticed Conor in the first place, why we noticed Moses Atauma, why we noticed, even the other day, Cameron Vong. Was it Cameron Vong? It was Cameron Vong.
He fought Jordan Flynn. Yeah, Jordan Flynn. He was
but
that
this
it
time
hadn't happened yet. It feels like it was a rematch because it was cancelled how many times, but yeah.
Oh, cancelled. Okay, so, but the way he dealt with him was lovely to see. Again, for the same reason, evolution. And it's like Moses Itauma can go in there and he's young. But if someone's like 30 something and they're on the later end and, you know, like they've been doing it for really, really long, that young energy, bro, that it's part of what makes young dons like Mike
Yeah, I hear it.
Tyson, Young,
I hear it.
Tank, or Floyd May. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
it's magic as well.
because they're coming to
There's the
eat.
magic to it.
They're coming to eat.
Yes,
They want the food,
they're
and that's
hungry.
what I love. But this is not all fighters. This is what I'm saying, Wiley. This is not all of them. Not all of them have that energy. Oh, have we lost connection? I don't even know if that's me again, or is that Wiley? Let me know. Oh, he's buffering. Let me know if that's me or Wiley.
Yeah.
You're buffering, but I don't know if it's me or you. No, I think my signal's all right.
Are there? Oh yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You just run. Yeah, got you. You're back.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's just like I said, they want to eat. They've got that hunger, and not all fighters have got that, Wiley. Not all of them have got that. Some of them want the peas, they want the money, they want the glory, but they don't want to go in there and spill their guts. So when you're talking about these fighters that will fight to the death, and which is what we saw Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. do yesterday, that was some old school, I'm going to break your face. I'm going to break you, and I'm not stopping. And they were tired. Both of their mouths were open, but they weren't stopping for no one. Chris Eubank could barely walk.
He couldn't even walk. You know what, though? Look, Conor Benn, again, in life, some of the places where I have learned my most valuable lessons, right, are in defeat.
Trust me.
Mistakes. Like,
Trust me.
I feel strong and powerful now because of those.
Yes.
You know, like,
you don't learn when you're winning, Wiley.
No, you don't. You just like,
facts.
It's like I could see in his face, like he wanted to cry because he felt like he let down the name. You did not let down the name.
I didn't. I don't see a loser, you know.
There's no loser. You did not let down the name. Okay, the fight was so close. It could have went either way. And I've learned to respect Chris Eubank Jr. only because I just didn't know who he was. I just knew who his dad was. But I've learned to understand him as a human being. And Conor will too. Because they're both sons and they both done their fathers proud, right? And like, you know, them moments of, oh, you just want to cry and, you know, your dad's there. I've been there. But it's that moment where I've learned a lot.
Yeah, for
right?
real.
So don't look at it as you know what, that happened. I'm going to regroup and keep going. Do you think I know there's a rematch clause. Do you think they'll do it?
I think it's up to them. Listen, I'm a fan. I woun't mind seeing it. I know it does
Of
even
this
better
brawl.
than us.
What, Wembley now? Wembley, move it up.
Yeah, probably Wembley. Or they might do it at the same location, but yeah, I'd say Wembley potentially. But even though the same location. I think well, Conor wants it. He said that in the press conference. He says he wants a rematch.
Yeah, he wants to make it right. He knows he came so close.
Of course he did.
He was so close. And you know what? Depending on who the judges were that night, some people would have given a draw, maybe.
Yeah, it could have potentially been a draw.
Yeah, some judges could have said, because what he did do is you know, like all this talk when you watch, like, Talk to Eddie, sorry.
Yeah.
And he's standing by his guy and he's telling you, look, I know Conor, blah, he's explosive.
Yeah, he's loyal like that.
He's not lying, right? He knows the explosiveness, right? So last night in there, he saw it also. And he'll be proud of him. He's not going to be, you know, he's not going to be like upset. I feel like he's going to say, like, let's run it back, rematch, Tottenham Hotspur or Wembley, right? Look, we're thinking for them. They're already thinking it, aren't they?
Of course, we have, and
whatever we thinking, they're
yeah, because you're not, for both of them. It's a fight with a lot of money again. If you're going to look at it from like the money aspect, it's a money fight and it sells out quicker. But the thing is, you won't be able to encapsulate the same magic that this one happened with. Potentially, Chris Eubank Jr. sitting at the press conference talking about, I know what pain is. Pain is losing your brother. Pain is having the son of your brother ask, why can't my dad take me to school? Pain is not having my father with me for how many years? So all of that encapsulated this story that led up to this fight. The fact that his dad fought his opponent's fight 35 years ago, and now there's a new story forming around it. And then all of a sudden, Van pulls up at the location and popped out of the car. Like, yeah, I like I said, I think I lost my voice on the stream when I saw his dad turn up, because that's all he needed. That's all he needed.
I was going to tweet his dad, and then I said,
yeah.
I said I was going to tweet his dad and say,
yeah, a few of us, I think.
Because I know some of the points his dad's trying to make. But then I said to myself, Wiley, mind your business, man. He's gonna be God. That's between him and God. We'll get him down there.
I hear that. I hear that.
I literally spoke to myself and said that. And then when he pulled up in the car, I said, yeah, man, because, nevertheless, it's like we raise our children and we don't want them to, if we've learned that one business is like cutthroat and dodgy, we don't really want our kids to make the mistakes we've made. Right, but by the time we're sitting, if that's my dad and he's done it, right, and I'm at the desk now, and to do this fight, I can get 10 million, or I can go and fight someone else and get a little bit. And my dad's telling me, son, he's telling me the rules, the rules of it, like, son, not good money and this and this. Unfortunately, Dad, I'm just going to go and get the 10 million. And that's what's wrong with me, Dad. That's why I'm not a great man like you, Dad, because I'm not as great as you. All right.
The 10 milli. Yeah.
It's 10 million. And then
can you imagine that getting slapped in your bank just like the day after? You just listen, I'm not saying that they haven't got money in their bank anyway, but the feeling of that getting slapped in your bank the day after must be a beautiful feeling.
It is. He'll go back to Dubai. And he'll say, right, he'll sit down and the thing with Eubank Jr. is he is his dad's son.
Yeah, like, for real. They both are.
They're so alike. So my oldest daughter, sometimes we clash.
Yeah. I understand
like
that.
Not like that, but
no, I'm like that with my son, my oldest son. Because we're the same.
Right, but I'm not thinking we're the same, I'm thinking, what is
you're the same, that's why you're clashing.
But I'm looking at myself. It's
okay, then.
So then I'm talking to myself here. What
yes.
am I doing?
Yes.
And that is why I understand the father, I understand the son.
Correct.
I'm glad Senior was there, because you're right, Chris. But let's get past this, because also, Chris, each human wants to have their own learnings and experiences. So as much as I don't want my daughter to have to go through this, I'll do it for her. She's not going to learn anything.
Spot on.
Bloody hell.
Spot on. And that's what I'm saying. That's why this was important, because there's so much more to it than just a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? His dad was, calling him a disgrace, this, that, and the other. He's having to listen to that. Listen, it could be a part of theatrics or whatever, but then to have him there.
Yeah. I think, when his dad does those interviews, he was doing like on the Sun, he was in the park, with Coogan and stuff. He's speaking from like a very mature, I've seen this point of view. Like, I've seen how this goes, son. And, and that's why, the son does understand. He's his son, the procedure will be parliamentary. It's his son. So, again, it happened now. I reckon they're all going to go away. But again, the thing is, even if Chris Senior says, "Look, son, you've done it now. You know, let's move on and let's get the Canelo fight, or let's do something else," right? The power, no, not the power, the salesmanship of the salesman. So, so what are you thinking? Like, do you reckon we'll do the rematch? Do you want to do the rematch?
You know those phone calls. You know those phone calls are happening. You know that conference call. You know them lines are open up and there's 10 man talking on the phone, talking figures, venues. You know what's going on.
It's so like it's hard, bro. Like even if you're the adult and you've learned everything and it's hard to then say to your offspring, like, okay, nothing down there is for you, so don't go down there.
Yeah.
They're gonna okay. And then they'll go down there. They might see something they like down there. They're gonna go down there, man. We cannot live their lives for them. We cannot live their lives for them.
And I think that's the biggest lesson.
What for the dad?
That. Yeah. You can't live your lives for them. The thing is, kind of Ben's a dad. He's got a son as well. Chris Eubank Jr. is an uncle. You know, he's there, present in the life of his nephew. What's going to happen with those two? Are they going to grow up and say, let's make this a third generation beef? Are they going to fight? Exactly. Look, put it this way, 20 years from now, it could be them two going at it. Yeah. And it just continues, the feud, the bloodline, and then you've got like 60 years, 50 years full of generational boxing beef. You don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know. You do not know. You do know. What about Lyndon Arthur and Yard? Lyndon Arthur, 1 second. Lyndon Arthur was winning by. Where did you have him? Was he winning?
I wasn't really scoring it because I really couldn't get up for the trilogy. I couldn't get up for the fight. Like, okay, I just wasn't really that excited around it. Okay. So,
okay, well, yeah. Lyndon Arthur he had the jab going, but
but so did Yard. Yard was boxing well.
He wanted it more. He wanted it. You know when you got to dig deep into that's where Yard was coming from. That's exactly where Yard was coming from.
Yeah, I'd like to see who Yard goes in with next now that he's got the win. Fair enough that they put this fight on for the trilogy. And to be fair, Lyndon was boxing nicely on the inside the pocket as well. I think it was the co-main. We just had McKenna touch up Smith. So your adrenaline's up there. You're getting ready for the main event. And then this fight, sometimes it just calms you down a bit. And it's like, and then you're in between. Do I want this fight to hurry up because I want to see the main event? I get like that in boxing. If it's not like adrenaline all the way through, I start switching off. So, but congratulations to Anthony Yard. It's 2-1 now. He can move on and do what he's doing. He's definitely improving each time he boxes. Lyndon Arthur's a good boxer anyway as well. So, I wish them both the best. But we've got to see what's going to happen with these guys. I heard that Chris Eubank had to go to hospital. Don't know how true it is. Potentially a jaw injury. So he wasn't able to attend the post-fight presser. Did you see your brethren Napa and Billy Joel Saunders?
Yeah.
You're not coming in. Did you see it?
Yeah, you know what it is? Billy, it's mad. Obviously, Napa's my guy, yeah. Billy's actually funny. He's a wind-up. And the thing is, like, if I was Eubank Jr., I don't want Billy doing my raps. Go away.
Because he's beating, so it's horrible. It's a horrible vibe.
Get out of there. You're not coming in there, Bill, man. You're a wind-up, right? Get out, right? And Napa is like a superhuman. I was going to the gym with Napa, and when I was leaving, I couldn't even walk properly. Like my bones was like, Napa's serious, but I will go back because I like the training. But bro, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, bro.
Yeah, he's a monster, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can he fight though?
You know what?
He's big in that, but if it comes down to it, can he get it on?
You know what? Napa is a blessed brother, okay? I've never been there or involved with anything to do. Never, no. But he's got his own life. So obviously I just wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
But I can remember being young in MC and doing MCing and blah, blah, blah. And like some MCs would try to be like, I'm not scared of my man. Like on the mic.
I hear that.
I'm not scared.
The ego
like,
talk.
My man's just big, blood. My man.
Yeah.
And then that's what their thing was then. And, and back then he was kind of like slim, right? He was still like tall, but he was. When I went to move into Dubai and do my property stuff, and I see this guy, I said, Jesus Christ. So all that time ago when he had that lyric like, I'll crack your skull.
Yeah.
Like out of everyone in grime, if there is anyone who is going to crack your skull, it is going to be him, isn't it? Like, that's what I've realized. When I see him again, I thought, rah, in grime, man never really took my man serious. But gee, yeah, I told him that. But he knows that. But he's a businessman as well. He's a smart brother, Napa, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart, man. And he had the other fighter there.
Brandon Glanton. Yeah. He did all right as well, you know.
He did. He reminds me of like a little Jarrell Miller's cousin or something. In the way that he's like a little guy who he keeps coming forward. Jarrell Miller. No, listen, Jarrell Miller is a nightmare. Not because like of the punch output or anything, but
he's like a tree. You just
so
can't chop him down.
You just have to, like the way Dubois chopped him down, I could not believe it. Like Jarrell Miller is so, he's like just a brick wall, bro. You just have to just. You think Fabio can deal with him?
The thing is with Fabio, he's so unpredictable. Anything's possible with him. You can't write him off because he's unpredictable. He's unorthodox.
He can catch. He can catch.
Yeah. And he's got power in his punches as well. It's a good fight. It is a good fight. The size difference looks absolutely horrific. Because Miller's just like I said, he's just like an oak tree. Do you know what I mean? And obviously Fabio looks a lot leaner than him, but I ain't writing off Fabio.
No, we're not writing him off. I see a clip the other day, and it was David Hay. David Hay.
And what Valuev?
Valuev.
The tall geezer with the big head. Yeah, David and Goliath, man. Valuev. Yeah, that was a mad fight still.
Because I was sitting here thinking, right, Usyk has gone. Joshua's big. He's beat Joshua. He's beat Fury. I'm like, Usyk's mad. David and Goliath, right? But I didn't remember that. So when I saw that, I was like, David Hay just done that to this big monster guy. Like, how cool is that guy? That guy is a monster.
Yeah, Valuev, man. To be fair, I only knew about him because David Hay fought him. I weren't really watching boxing hard back then, but I do remember the fight. Do you know what I mean? But it just goes to show it's not necessarily, what do they say? It's not the size of the gun, it's the damage of the bullet. Something so.
Yeah. These saying
there's something like that. So you can't, you can't really like say, size counts, because look, like going back to yesterday, Conor Benn was like on Eubank, like a pit bull terrier. Like one of them mad chihuahuas. Not even a pit bull terrier, because when you're looking at the size difference, my man was just yapping.
Yeah. Conor was on the job. So do you reckon? So rematch at Wembley or Tottenham again?
I'm hearing October, you know.
Yeah. Oh, a bit cold in October though.
Was it September? It might have been September then.
Yeah. Indoor. I hate. You know, I imagine for the fighters. I saw Tyson Fury fight in Tottenham. It was December.
With Dillian White. Yeah.
What? Obviously, I know
Yeah.
fight where you're outside, indoor, warm, cold, don't matter. I get it, but
Even when it's the summer, it's still cold out there because the vast space. You have to warm up. You see how properly Daniel Dubois come out sweating, warm, and Anthony Joshua look cold.
Okay.
You have to be warm in them stadiums, like really like hot.
Okay.
Daniel Dubois come out pouring with sweat, and Anthony Joshua looked like just cold.
Okay. I see Eddie the other day in an interview. He looked like he had a little new young Anthony Joshua.
What is it? Atang? Is it Atang?
Yeah.
I've heard he's all right. You know.
He was just doing like a thingy, but like in the presentation, as a man, older businessman, I looked like, oh shit, he's obviously. It looks like he has his new.
What he believes, yeah.
What to take over from, but where is AJ? Where do you reckon he's just chilling?
Bro, I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I've tried to get him on the channel loads of times because he's the type of geezer. If he sees me out, he always says hello. But to get him to come on the channel, it's like blood out of a stone. There's so many things I want to ask him, but
no, you know what?
I don't know what he's doing.
He might be busy, but you know what? Not busy. Time for himself. Because when you go on them roller coaster rides with promoter, money, is it like I've been on there to the top of your game kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like the energy that you need and that they need you to have, right? To actually go on that journey. It takes a lot out of you, but you won't, like, someone will say to me, Wiley, man, how come you missed this show? Or how come you missed this or missed that? And in the end, mate, I was just trying to do too much at once. If you ring my phone and you say, Wiley, we've got to do this, it's 2:00, 5 grand, 10 grand, 20, whatever it was, I didn't know how to say no. So just yes, until all of a sudden, like, all the shoeboxes are falling on top of me because I didn't know how to say no. Like, and so sometimes in this case, it's like time for yourself is also needed away from your promoter and your thingy. You go back after, like, because that journey, man, it's a lot, bruv. Like, your diary is full up, right? I've got to do this for Under Armour. I've got to do this for blah, blah. I've got to do this. It's a lot. It's a lot.
We take that for granted, you know, Wiley. So it's good that you've got like a perspective from that status to say, I was just doing too much. Because when you were starting to say he needs like time for himself, I was about to like cut and say, I think he's had enough of that. I think he's had enough time for himself. We need him back because I'm selfish. But the way you broke it down,
we need him back.
But the way you broke it down, actually, when is it enough time for yourself? Because you're constantly saying yes.
And that's what Eubank Jr. is saying. The promoter is all right. The promoter's going to be day 9 yards.
They're nice.
Right? But you, and I understand Chris Eubank Jr.'s, but the truth of the matter is, it is a business, all right? And for AJ, I believe that, you know, he's allowed a break. Whether he does it or not, Eddie still has to move on to whoever's next, you know.
Can't be hanging around waiting for man because it is a business.
Right. And, you know, I get it. I think AJ's with the zone. And so time for yourself is needed because otherwise you're just giving your time to everybody who needs you to do what you do so we can all get paid. And that's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah.
But Wiley, AJ, don't you realize that like you're a commodity though? Like when you become the property of, like in your example, for a record label, for me, say, for example, a broadcaster picks me up, Anthony Joshua, his promoter, You're a number. You're a commodity. As quick as they take you on, they can throw you on the floor, and you don't say yes to what they need you to say yes. They can just put you in the bin.
But that's what hurts, because my nan always used to say to me, like, everyone is not your friend.
Trust me.
Nothing in this world is free. Like, whose football is that? My friend gave it to me. Why? Yeah, he just gave it to me for free, Nan. He's my friend. Nothing in Kylie. Nothing in this world is free. I know what she meant now. Then I didn't, because my friend gave me the football, right? But I didn't. Now I get it, right?
Spot on.
And
shout out Nanny, man.
Nanny, right? So you're absolutely right. And it's like you learn a lot as well. You live and you learn and you grow. And then one day you look around and you're like, raw. Like, okay, we're getting this money. Everyone's with me. But like, I don't feel okay. And some people around me don't understand, and I don't feel okay. And by then it's kind of too late, because you're in cahoots, right? And listen, and that's why, like, the entertainer's the entertainer, the promoter's the promoter, the manager's the manager, the lawyer's the lawyer. You know, pick which one, right? Because the entertainer's one looks like the most beautiful one, right? But if you ask me, who would I want to, which bank would I want? I might want Frank Warren's bank account.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Know? So anyway, you know, it's all part of it anyway. But Terence Crawford and Canelo, Abs, who have you got here in that one?
Terence.
Yeah.
I like Terence.
So do I. But why did you say it so quick? What do you think that he's got? He is a boxer. And
watch Canelo versus Dimitri Bivol.
I know that Bivol is, bro. I couldn't believe
Bivol is Bivol, but Crawford is also Crawford.
Yeah, sometimes someone's just, it's not just the weight class. They're just better. They're better.
I could be wrong though, but instinctively, that's what I feel. Wait there, Wiley. Let me just jump into this chat, because there's a couple people in here. Fight Fan Live, shout out to you. Let's have a look. Gapadan C says, brilliant fight. Yes, it absolutely was. Greetings to everyone. Happy Eubank Day. Riley scored Clark effortlessly. Even with that slippery matchroom ring, or the ring. Will there be a rematch? Possibly. Chris is saying, I wasn't at the watch along. I was at the fight last night, despite me having my concerns about the fight. But what an atmosphere. I was seeing Eubank Senior arrive. It got a lot of people's hearts, and it definitely did. If you say McKenna schooled the experienced fighter, so one-sided. I'm ready for Smith's excuses tour next week. These are, I've been burying Smithy all night, even in the chat. Ben has nothing to be ashamed of. Go on. Yeah, Ben has got nothing to be ashamed. Sorry, go on.
No, you see Smith.
Yeah.
This is why I brought it up to you earlier.
Yeah.
If he's a real person, like I know he is, he will walk away from that performance and think, have I had enough of this?
He ain't so that's why. Man.
No, he's not gonna. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't want him to give up. But like,
the Smith brothers is boxing blood.
They are. I know in Liverpool they
all brother, but all of the brothers, it's all blood in their veins.
That's why I keep ringing the older people in grime at the moment, because they're part of my age and era, and I'm saying to them, listen, I've got a little 5-year plan. I don't know what you lot's planning, but we need to plan out, like a way out.
Plan out.
Well. No, like plan so that we are not like we've wasted, yes, but we need to quickly make it okay in these last couple, and so it can continue, kind of thing, right? And I need them. I need my people, my age, my era, so that the generations younger and younger and younger and younger can see us working and then they see emotion happening and they do it more with each other.
I don't like the disrespect to the elders though, Wiley, because I'm a big fan of like Wu-Tang Clan, and you see Method Man and Redman doing a link up, and then they're like, you see the young ones in the chat, these washed up old ninjas, blah blah, this and that, and it's just so disrespectful.
But you know why they have to do that? Because there's a part of our time in our life where we are young, and we are like, there's a time when we are young, we think young, and we can't wait to get rid of adult authority. We just want to be in control ourselves, right? This is probably what my daughter is probably saying, Dad, I love you, but I am me. Like, I want to live my life. Like, yes, I want you to live your life too. But I don't want you to make the same mistakes as me. Okay, well, I might get a phone bill one day, Dad, and pay it late. I'm gonna make some of the same mistakes as you, Dad. You know, that it's really weird. So back to what we're actually saying, it's like it's a weird one. I guess, look, that's why I brought it up to you earlier, because I actually do by watching Liam Smith and that boy, I'm ready to. I rung Lethal this morning. I messaged Lethal this morning, and I sent him some rhythms, because I'm saying, you know what, we ain't got long. Yes, this is the last time. This is not the last.
Oh, I don't like that, man. I don't like that.
No, not in terms of underground. Like, I can still go and watch Bassman.
Yeah,
I can still do that bit, right? I want to do that bit. I want to die doing that bit. But just me, you know, like your time from 20 to 40, or being in the public eye, or whatever it is, like, you don't have to stay there forever. You know, we're allowed to like go and mind our business. Like, we are allowed, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the youth,
like retire, you mean? Sort of.
Well, not retire, but like, you know, so say if there's kids today, my daughter's 19, right?
Yeah.
So she comes to Birmingham, she does some music with some other 16, 20-year-olds, whatever.
Okay.
And they do the music, they make a song and they release it. When I see that, I'm going to be looking at it like, oh shit, I remember when I first got into pay as you go, and I rare. So I see when I was that age. And when you see that it's the youth them's go, it's the children's turn, that means it's not really our turn anymore in that space, you know?
The heartbreak, man. I feel it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's their turn. So is Liam Smith woke up today saying, you know what?
Nah.
It's Aaron McKenna's turn. No?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I can't see it. The way he was marching forward till the death, his eyes were closed. He couldn't even open up his eyes, and he's still going. He ain't waking up tomorrow and saying, Jack.
No, but you know, like,
and his brothers know what he's capable of, because they kept him in there. I thought they was going to pull him out. They weren't pulling him out. No one's getting pulled out, mate. You're dying in there.
I thought they was going to pull him out, but and also, look, I don't mean it by like Liam's not good anymore.
Nah, I hear it. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like, we get older. Like I told you the last time we done a stream, like, my back's hurting, my shoulder's hurting. Why is my shoulder
getting out of bed takes a little bit longer?
My shoulder was hurting. Why is my shoulder hurting? I ain't done nothing. I ain't hurt myself.
Bro, it's real.
Yeah, so like, I'm like,
real. That's why I stay in the gym. That's why I stay in the gym.
You gotta
stay in the gym. Otherwise, you're frigged.
You seize up. So just by, and that's me, not even to sportsman. I used to kick ball, but I'm saying Liam Smith, like, as you get older, so boxing, the injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
What is that like? You know, ankle injury, the foot.
Yeah, it can't be good.
It's a lot, like, towards David Hayes. And what was wrong with his foot? Is that what he hurt?
Yeah, he snapped his Achilles, and that's like the worst, because your Achilles connects your calf. It runs all the way up there. I've torn my calf muscle, so I know what pain he was in, and he stayed in that fight. It burns. You can't walk. This is what I'm saying. When David Hayes in there against Tony Bellew, dragging his foot across the ring, trying to stay in there, that was pure heart from David Hay, because I know that pain burns like you can't walk.
I was thinking, shit, this happened to his foot last time. What's wrong with his foot?
Yeah.
I did not
it's
know Achilles.
you get at this age, man. We think we're young, Wiley, and we do all of this crazy stuff. I tried to do some crazy stuff in the gym the other day, and I went, stop. You're not 25, stop. But my head still sees me as a 19-year-old fit, can still do everything.
No, and especially if you go to going to the gym's only going to keep you thingy. But like,
but you're still not sharp like that. You know when they say man's looking slow on the pads, that's me. But in my head, I'm quick.
Yeah. But
Delusion.
Aaron McKenna taught me something yesterday, just in life. Like, yes, there is evolution. Moses Atama taught me it. I've learned. I know what it is. Young person who's able to be great around his own age group, so now he can go with the adults, like a young footballer who is 16, 17, but then they make it to the first, like, I get it. Wonder kid or wonder boy or wonder girl, genius, someone who's good but young. So I get it. And they always come along, bro. Like, you got to watch out.
But it's like finding a niche, though, because look at David Beckham. David Beckham bowed out gracefully, and he's still like on top for certain things because he found another niche that is still kind of relevant, say with the fashion stuff with his wife. So he's, even though he's not actively playing football, he's still kind of relevant.
He did. Alex Ferguson made him and probably tried to break him somewhere down the line.
The people that make you will do that to you, Wiley.
They will, but it didn't work with David. It didn't work because he's probably one of the most famous English footballers that they've had before, like in terms of what you said, fashion and all the rest of it. So I understand, man. I do understand. And there's always a point where they fall out and business. It's mad, bro. History can repeat itself sometimes, you know. Even
being employed's tough.
It is.
Being independent's tough, but being employed is tough because then it's your job to lose. You don't do what I want you to do. Guess what? You'll never see us again. You're gone. You're sacked. Because you're controlled by other people, innit?
That's part of that journey where they say when you're young, your family members, aunties, uncles, or that they say, like in terms of work and earning money or college or whatever it is, education, they say sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do, right? So I can remember, like, I want to do this, I want to do that. They're like, oh, well, that's not going to happen right now, but this and that. And I'm like, this and that, I don't want to do that. But I now know what they mean, right? And so there was a point where I was young and I always wanted to do music and I wanted to be in a recording studio. So then I contacted some in the local area, the youth club ones, and then just to go and like help out and learn, right? And then they let me go there, help out and learn, like apprenticeship, I guess, type of thing, right? And then it gave me knowledge and stuff to then go on and do what I wanted to do. So I was willing to, I wasn't had studio time to make music yet, but I was willing to go in there and kind of help out to earn my studio time kind of thing, you know?
Like what I do?
Yeah, right, actually. I see Johnny Nelson. You interviewed Johnny again. Yes, Johnny Nelson. He's hilarious. I love Johnny Nelson.
You know what? Johnny Nelson, when I first like met him, he wasn't going on like how he goes on now. He's so relaxed, more like into himself, more about who he is. The evolution, the way that you can add a bit of spice to something and it makes people feel comfortable about who they are, because you're not trying to fit in, you're not trying to be this corporate stiff up board. You know what I'm talking about. And it's nice to know that you can just like, you can fling in a couple patois words because the person that you're speaking to gets what you're saying, and it just makes you feel so much more relaxed.
Yeah, yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it. You know what, Abs?
Mm.
You know Eddie Hearn's job.
Yeah. Well, I don't know it, but yeah.
Eddie Hearn's job. It looks easy. He makes it
Nah.
look easy.
He
But
makes it look easy.
he makes it look easy, yeah. But bloody hell, his job is really hard. It is, because I'm trying to be fair and look at both sides, right? So,
Yeah.
like, company, businessman, blah, blah, fighter, businessman, and business getting done. And it's like, where if a fight falls through,
He's got to take the flak.
okay, but we might not be able to pay the purses there, but then I'll get you on the next one, and I'll get you on.
Yeah, I
And the
watched that conversation. He was right at what he said.
Yeah, and the reason why it's like, once something goes out via media or via wherever, right? Whatever it is, people's mindset is not, oh, I saw that, but I don't know. It is, oh my God, blah, blah. They just believe it, right? I get it. I get it. It's actually such a good trick from whoever's
But you
playing
can spin narratives. You know what it's like when people start to spin a narrative.
Right.
Because people are easily convinced on stuff, aren't they? You've just got to make it make sense. If it makes sense, it's true. But people fail to realize that a lot of lies make sense too.
Exactly, right.
And this is the world that we live in. If it makes sense, it must be true then, because it makes sense.
Exactly. But like in this life, depending on what side of the business fence you are. So if you work on that company, it will be for that. If you work for that company, right? And it's like, in this life, like, two things can be true, right? So, like,
it's perspective.
It's perspectives. Like, Eubank Jr., he's going to do the fight. He wants to fight, and blah, blah, blah. That's blah, blah. Eubank Sr. doesn't want to fight, and blah, 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 blah. They both got points that can be true.
Yeah.
Okay. And it becomes then like a catch-22, like damned if you don't, damned if you don't, damned if you. So with that, like, when you know that, it's very hard. It's like, before I got to this age, I couldn't have understood it this way, but now I try to. Yeah, you try to understand things from both ways, right? So in this equation, like, I would most likely be like on the fighter side, right? Because I'll be a fighter, and I'll be with all my people fighting to look after their family and all that stuff. And then I look from the side of like, okay, what if he was a promoter? Like, because I know all different promoters of all different backgrounds, nationalities, religions, whatever, right? And every promoter is obviously trying to do business where they pay a money out to try and bring some money back in with a profit.
Yeah, simple.
And and sometimes, like, when you're the fighter, you don't want to, hell, you just want, go on for me, right? I get it, right? And when you're the promoter, you're looking at the person like, okay, well, can you put bums on seats? Can you get a crowd, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you have to try and understand it from both sides to be fair, I guess. And like,
is there fairness in business though, Wiley? Because you're saying
no,
that, I get it. Us
There
sitting on the outside, we can see the fairness. But when you're the promoter and you're shelling out millions and your fighters there talking how big they are, but they can't sell 100 tickets, bro, you need to be selling tickets.
That's why there is no fairness.
I don't care about your name. Are you putting bombs on seats?
Right. And this is why I understand Eddie. I understand Eddie. I understand the fighter and the thing. Yeah, I understand both, because I am neither of those. But in business, I'm on one side.
Correct.
Right? But then in business, you might grow, and one time you might be on the other side. Right? So it's kind of like, it's like, no one likes the government. No one likes nothing. No one likes how the country's run. No one likes nothing.
Yeah.
So being a prime minister must be the hardest job ever, because you're in the prime minister. You've got to come, and there's people who are not visible.
Yep.
And saying what this and what that, and you've got to go out and present it.
But
And
if
so
you
you've
go
got
out
to
and
take
present
the
it, there's going to be people that don't like that anyway. So
exactly.
you're
There's people
never
who,
going to be really satisfied, are you?
exactly. You can't please everyone anyway,
Can't please
right?
everyone. Exactly.
But people who take these jobs, they know that already. They know they can't do it
Eddie's
all.
got a tough skin. Eddie's got a real tough skin.
Eddie's got tough skin, but Eddie already knows this wheel has to keep turning.
Yeah,
Whether
it's proper business.
Elbrook, right? Whether it's Amir Khan, whether it's AJ, whether it's Connor,
Connor
wherever it
Ben.
is, these wheels have got to keep turning, right? So I tell you what, we're gonna have a good one, but like 1 loss, 2 loss, maybe 3 or
Bro,
4
it's
draw.
looking shaky.
Like, oh,
Yep.
he's loyal to his stick with you, but sometimes it's out of his control now. Like
It's like, bro, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got different stories where Chisora will come and do his thing. Chisora, war guy forever. No one can't chat to him.
Yeah.
And then he gets 48, 49.
Oh, I'm losing you again, you know.
Again, he's always. Oops, you got me, yeah?
Yeah, you're back.
You
there? Yeah.
Yeah, so for his 50th fight, he wants to do his thing. Now, as a promoter, we love Del Boy. So when he's 50th, we give him it.
Correct.
He's been fighting everyone, you know what I mean? It's kind of, so it's different for different people, but I know it's kind of like, is there going to be a part 2 of what's that fight we was talking about? Tank and Lamont Roach.
I don't know. I've kind of switched off from all of that. I don't even know.
Okay.
If there's any Americans in the chat, they'd have to let me know on that. But why? Let me go back to this chat because there's a couple people in here. Ben has nothing to be ashamed of. I think a trainer like Andy Lee is needed over Sims. Now, I think Sims is good enough. Ben has tweeted, it isn't over. Yeah, I thought that about the rematch. Good morning to Toby. Jimmy Ginal, I haven't seen you for a bit. Half Past Fashion, shout out to you. I'd like to give an extra special shout out to the ladies in the chat. I just want to know, when did Conor Benn become the people's champ? There's some debate over that. If he said never the people's champion, only to Eddie Hearn. Half Past Fashion answer said, my theory is that they spoke and made peace at his cousin's fight a few weeks ago. We're talking about Harlem Eubank. Because every time they asked him about their talk, his cousin looked like there was things that he couldn't talk about. Yeah, and I do agree with that. Yeah. Half Past goes on to say, our mission as parents is to prepare our children to be able to fend for themselves. But when we're not here one day, we can't be mad when they want to go out and exercise what we taught them. Yeah, spot on. Wise words. Let's have a look. There's so much in here. Oh, shout out to Saints. Bless up both of you. Napper's a real one. Abs, what happened to your face? I fell over.
Man.
Smashed my face off some concrete floor.
Oh my God.
Somebody thought I was fighting.
Okay.
I said, nah.
That was boxing.
It was at a boxing event, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Sheffield. So yeah. Manchester.
Okay.
Manchester. Let me go down to this chat. There's so much in here. The AI judge gave it 117, 111. Ben didn't do enough to win either way. Interesting.
Ben. Now Ben done what Ben showed me. Ben showed me what is possible, what could be possible. Like, whoever he fights, it don't have to be Eubank, all right? Whoever he fights, like, he's explosive, he's savage, and the more and more he learns to manage his stamina, and you know, what's that thing that my friend...
He's a problem if he goes in there and fights like that.
You know that thing, Conor knows this already, but controlled aggression.
Yeah.
Controlled aggression.
We weren't getting that yesterday.
Yeah, like controlled aggression is so dangerous. Like they use certain animals. Like the snake, the way that the snake leaps, or the way that is Connor is like savage. Moses is savage. There's a few people, bro, who if they catch you on a savage one, you're out. You can go. And
yeah, because he's explosive.
And I thought that Eubank was going to be able to, because he's also explosive, but he's older. He's not as explosive.
You could see. Yeah, you could see. Yeah.
Right. And what I thought he was going to do, when you, like if I tried to spar with my uncle, not proper in the kitchen.
I hear what you're saying.
He's going to sun me, put his hand on my head, hold me over there. I can't even do much, right? I thought he was going to try and sun him. But he couldn't really sun him, could he? Like, I guess that they...
No, he couldn't.
I think they both respect each other, and I think they both want...
After that, yeah. They won't say it to each other, though.
Yeah, I think they want one more at Wembley, and if Connor wins, there's going to be a trilogy somewhere crazy, like a crazy... I know
you think there'd be a trilogy?
If Connor wins, because the one apiece...
Okay.
Remember, this is where Eddie and
Vidal
rub their hands. This is why promoters can't lose. Especially Eddie Hearn can't lose, even if his fighters lose, even if everyone loses. Because when he goes home and sits down and he's with his dad and the family and that, and they say, what's the net worth of the company lately? And he says, it's estimated at 1 point blah blah billion. Their job's already done. Barry has already done the job for Eddie to continue to do the job for do the job, right? So, and I'm not mad at it. Like, my mum and dad done enough of a job for me to be able to do a job for my children. I hope they do a job, because my mum and dad. Yeah, it wasn't about money. It was about creating me, so I would go on in the world, and
I hear it. It's not always about money.
No, it's not like no big million, but
because we've got a lot of rich kids with no substance, so it's not about money to me at all. I couldn't give a toss what's in your bank.
You know what I'm saying? But Barry done what he was supposed to do, take care of his family, right? Eddie's doing the same, right? I see, whoever it is, the job.
Did you know he was an accountant? Barry Hearn was an accountant.
Yeah.
I spoke to Eddie, and he told me the story about his dad being at an accountant's firm, and because accountancy is it had classism, because obviously Barry was from like a certain part, or he didn't have certain people in the industry that only let him go to a certain level in the accountancy firm, and that's when he said nah. So he's always been like one of these, Barry Hearn, to push and drive through and say, I'm going to do better. And then obviously he went on to set up a Matchroom. So that kind of go-getter, hustler, push forward, when they tell you no, you're going to do it anyway mentality that Eddie's got. It's come straight down the bloodline from his dad.
And it's and in East London and anywhere, I hate to say it, but just lower income housing. Wherever there is lower income housing, right?
Yes.
We are around there trying to think of
ways to get out.
Yeah, bro.
It's normal.
I can remember being on my estate one day, and one man come round who knew someone, and he was saying to my friend, yeah, I can get you real diamonds, right? And they're worth this and that. He was blagging, but I didn't get involved. I remember I didn't get involved. I was probably selling a drawer at the time. Ash and chocolate weed, right? I don't want to be like that, but that's what I was doing. And I remember my mate was like, they was all talking, huddling up. It was like, yeah, you can get diamonds. And then what we do, we buy them for this price, and then we'll go to Hatton Garden, we'll sell them for them, all this stuff, right? So the brother come with some diamonds, they give him the money. When they went to sell them, they weren't real. It was all fake. It was, So this is what I'm saying. It's like,
did that man ever come back? Did he ever come back to the ends?
No, he was gone. Right?
God.
He was gone. So, but anyway, look, back to what I'm saying is, look.
I hear it. It's a hustle.
It's a hut, bro. And but that was my friend got hustled. But prior to that, look, when you're in lower income, you've got to find a way. You don't have to leave. Yeah, my mum lives in London. She doesn't want. You can't make my mum leave. She doesn't want to leave. You know,
my mum stayed in Handsworth till she died. It's just the way they are.
You know what I'm trying to say? Friggin'
yeah.
St. John's Avenue. She'll say, "Go away. I'm fine here, right? Tesco's is there, as there is here." Like she doesn't.
I hear. Yeah.
Come to me with your foolishness, right? So that's her thing. So big up Barry, right? And you know, when I look at the fact he did the account earn, he did this, he did, bro. Everyone's got a journey, mate, and you know, however they get there, they get there, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I understand Eubank Jr. because when you're the fighter, in the end, when you work it all out, it's like Jesus Christ, like so. Okay, I fought, I earned my money and this and that, and I'm doing what I'm doing. Even if you waste money, right? But then you look at the promoter, and what pisses you off is, it's the fact that you haven't accepted that the promoter has to continue without you.
Imagine,
right? So
it's like an ex-wife.
Yeah,
have to accept that she's the ex now, and then the new fresh things come in, and she just has to take a step back.
See, because what's wrong with me is
listen.
If I was AJ,
what an analogy, right? Yeah,
and then I saw Eddie with that new young Anthony Joshua kind of vibe,
bro,
that would upset me.
It'd upset me too.
It would upset me, but that's because I am not letting, like, it's me and Eddie, it's me and Eddie, it's me and Eddie. Oh,
and shit, it always has been.
Yeah, like, but here's the person who might take over. These times, I don't know if the kid's with 258 or with AJ. We don't even know.
I don't know. Don't think so.
That's what was wrong with me before 40, 41. Like, I would take that to heart, right?
I hear it.
Yeah, but now I accept it, right? It's an engine, Abs. If we start a promotional company and we're helping young fighters and we're going to gyms all around the country and we're investing and we're giving because we want kids on the street and we want them disciplined and blah, blah, right? We're doing that out of the kindness of our heart, right? We are doing that and we're thinking, right? But then if we have a fighter and he's sick and he gets us into the door on a Ben Shalom boxer thing, and then our fighter has a career and he does 15 years and we've got this engine going. We can't stop our engine when the fighter's finished. We need to carry on. And that upsets some, like, it can upset you. Not AJ.
Yeah, but it imitates life though, doesn't it, Wiley? Because at the end of the day, we're privileged to like grow, get old and die. We're replaced. There's people being born, growing up, getting old, dying. It's a cycle. And you have to look at business in the same way. You've got an expiry date. There's always going to be somebody that's going to be coming through that's better than you, that's hungrier than you. It's life. That's why you make the most of every single day. Wiley, I get up every day and I'm like, how can I make the most of today? Because guess what? I might not even be here tomorrow. But you're right. It's like you get to like this age, and I'm speaking, I'm 47. I'll be 48 this year. And I see things completely different. So when I see all like the young things and they're like squabbling and what's important to them, that's not important to me because I could be dead tomorrow. So you carry on over there doing your foolishness and I'm going to get on doing me. Simple.
Yeah. Understand. So yeah, like tomorrow's not, and that's what I'm saying. It's like when you're alive, like I'm alive now physically with you, we're alive, we're talking. I feel like I'm living forever. That is the craziest thing. Like I like feel that. Like, because obviously you don't look at the way out. Okay, the way out is the way out, right? I just
you know what? I like that mentality because I'm the opposite. I'm like, I could be dead tomorrow. So that's why I'm maybe a bit reckless because I'm like, I could be dead tomorrow.
And you know what, Abs? Also, going back to what was that one the other day? Should Fraser Clark rematch Fabio, or you feel like Fabio should go on?
Fabio needs to carry on. Fraser's got to now catch back up.
Okay. What, like with Adelaide?
He
Johnny
wants the
Fisher,
winner of he wants
some of the
I think Fraser Clark wants the winner of the rematch with Jamie Takivi and David Adelaide, doesn't he? Oh, is he here? Is he gone? I think I've lost him again.
Is it
or
on?
is it me?
On?
Oh yeah, you're back. Yeah, he needs to.
Yes.
People just need to go on their own path, and when you lose, you go backwards, and you got to work your way back, and that's just how boxing works. And I like that because there's that order. There's an order in boxing. It's chaos, it's crazy, but there's an order. And if you fall down, you've got to work your way back to get to that spot. It's like, that's just
Snakes
the way
and
it
ladders.
is.
Snakes and ladders.
Yeah. What did you think of Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron?
I love that fight. You know what? I like Ben Whittaker, but I wanted, because I know the style of what excites me about Ben, yeah. I also know, there's always going to be people who can't wait for him to lose, right? Or they, because it's hilarious. When he does all the antics, it's so funny. But then if someone catches him on the chin, it's not funny for him anymore, right?
Well, this is what happened in the post-fight presser.
So then, obviously, did he throw himself out? Did he whatever? He fell over, whatever, injury. Now, I was happy because I like Ben, right? And I was happy that he came and done his thing. I like Dave Caldwell. Caldwell, is that his name? Dave Caldwell?
Yeah, Dave Caldwell.
I like Dave, right? I always watch his interviews because I like listening to people who speak sense, basically, so I can learn, right? Just in case. And Dave's one of them. Sam Jones, there's loads of them actually, right? And Dave was a bit upset, yeah. And he because Ben went over and celebrated in his face, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like just an emotion, like. Yeah, but like how much it hurt Dave, and then how much Ben was like, "Say it's both the same kind of thing, right? But Dave, he does understand, but he's thinking from a trainer's point of view, so he don't understand at this point that it's just the emotion of the fighter.
Which Johnny Nelson said, yeah.
And Dave was really upset, but because I rate Dave, I wanted to jump in the telly and say, Dave, it's all right, Dave. Just the fight, like, sometimes you win or you lose, like, because he was so upset, like, and I was thinking, Dave, I watched Dave so much, and then I was like, oh shit, he's really upset about this. But I would
maybe he just doesn't like Ben.
Yeah, or he just feels like, because someone said he spat at him or whatever, he just feels
he didn't spit at him, that was cap.
That was a cap, right? So he just feels like, don't disrespect the trainer. But Abs, I watch all different sports. And to me, a celebration is a celebration, man.
He's emotionally got clowned.
Yeah,
look, Ben Whittaker has come out as this superstar. He's got that swag. His followers just flew up on social media. He became that guy. He's going to have a lot of learning to do as well, because at the end of the day, what happened. Yeah. He was the one that's been making highlight reels out of his opponents by doing his stuff in the ring. And every time that opponent wakes up, they've got to see themselves on a highlight reel getting clowned by Ben Whittaker. This is how it is. This is why we love Ben Whittaker. This is why we hate Ben Whittaker. So at the end of the day, when all of that happened with going out of the ring, whatever it was, all of these people that were probably disguising themselves as fans turned on him, and he was starting to get ridiculed. There was the name calling, all of that stuff that came with it. And Ben then had to deal with the person that was creating the jokes to the person that was being laughed at. And that messed with him. Yeah. So he's gone into that ring with a point to prove. My man didn't have a chip on his shoulder. He went in there with a forest. So when he gets that stoppage, he just goes wild. And he goes into the corner because I don't know if this is true because I haven't seen the interviews. Apparently, the trainers were like laughing at him and calling him Ben Whittaker. So he must have went there, who's the Whittaker now, or blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
All of that emotion comes out of him, and he proper explodes because he's human. And then obviously he gets criticized, and I'm not taking nobody's side because he had to have a lot of humiliation directed at him. But Ben also has to realize the humiliation that he's done to his opponents. And I tell you what, sometimes these things come back and bite you hard. So hopefully it's a learning for everybody involved. That's how I see it.
In some sports, you get fined for celebration, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a sports person, right? I played football. I love sports. And the truth is, if I score, if I win, if I whatever it is, I am allowed, just between me and God, right, to celebrate exactly how I want to celebrate. Whatever. If I want to run over to there and jump in the bin with all the drinks in, I can jump in there. If I want to run in the crowd with whatever I want to do, I should be allowed to do celebration, and I shouldn't be fined at all, right? And then with saying that, someone might say, yes, but Wiley, what if someone does a celebration that is politically incorrect or some shit, and from a different angle, okay? And say if it was a celebration from someone else and it was to do with their thing and their background and what one with them and be them, right?
Yep.
Because I love sports so much and I just want you to celebrate, even that one I would just turn a blind eye. So for instance, if you're from the Ukraine or you're from somewhere and you celebrate and it's part of your history or heritage, that's your business, bro. That's your business. If I want to celebrate and do Martin Luther King, that's my business. If I want to do baseman trigger, is that my business, please?
Jordan, whatever. Yeah.
So that's one thing I think. I think we should be allowed to celebrate as sports people because the energy from the winning or the upset from the losing, it's like
the controversy around the draw. Yeah, it's up and down, and he's had a lot to deal with. He's got like over 1 million people watching him, or maybe it's 2 million. I don't even know, but he's got loads of people watching him all the time. Deep down, he's a lovely, he's actually really a lovely guy, but he has to understand that he's up there now. And as much as the praise comes, the criticism is going to be just as heavy. He's got to learn to switch off from social media. If he can't deal with it, let somebody else deal with it. But the higher you go, the higher the praise, but also the larger the criticism. And this is the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, and also what you just said, I would advise any young people going into anything to do with becoming a public figure, just treat the internet the way that like growing up you look at that page when it first started, like LinkedIn, and it says LinkedIn teacher blah de blah, this uni, blah blah blah, and you look at it, and I think LinkedIn, bro, who's even on LinkedIn? Like that looks dead. Like LinkedIn, it's not dead. It's not dead. It's professional, right? Sometimes you got to move like LinkedIn, so it just looks like
I hear that.
But
I hear that. I like that.
Because what I've had to learn how to do is learn how to mute the noise, even though I was making the noise. I was part of it. I
hear that. See, even though I was making a noise. Go on, man. This is church. We're in session now. We're in session.
Right. So I was part of the noisy, whatever. But then I have to mute this noise that's distracting me, and I have to be able to. I can perform and do all of that stuff, but what I mean is like, even yesterday, Eubank was saying like Connor is not experienced under these lights and this big event so I understand, and it's like, I feel like the best advice you can give them is kind of like, don't let social media consume you, right? Have fun, do your, you know, you got to post and you got to do like social media, but don't become somebody who looks at social media like a classroom, and then you just sitting there at the back of the class like, yeah, social media, what? Hey, shut up, you kid. Like, don't do that.
That's
That's what I did. I treated it like a classroom, and then in the end, it didn't go well. So that's what I'm saying. Just use it wisely, man. And it can be good. It can be good. You can still have fun, right? But you know, just that's the advice. You know what I mean? Don't, because I remember, bro, even now, like, everyone's got their phone in their hand. If I walk out there in the street and I go to the bus stop and there's people at the bus stop, they're on the phone. No, because I expect it. They're on the phone. Like,
guilty.
Yeah, you check in your thingy. You might be doing a bank transfer. Here's the thing about a smartphone, which I'm gonna separate from. I don't like how half of my brain is inside this phone.
It ain't half of it.
Is it all of it?
It's all of it.
Right, well, what I don't like, the main bit I don't like is if I lose this phone now.
What are you doing?
Like, and you know that they've turned me into cashless society person.
What are you doing?
I need to go back to cash a little bit of fivers and
but
tenors.
People aren't really taking that though.
Okay,
in.
right. So if I lose it, I basically, and I don't like that. I don't
like a crackhead if you lose your phone. You start itching and shit.
Right. So I don't like the fact that if I lose this phone, I'm gonna panic. I can't let Apple or smartphone, iPhone 1 to 50, I can't let them have me feeling that way. I can't do it. Look, this phone's old. I won't get a new one. Everyone says, why don't you get a new one?
I think that's same as mine, you know. Yeah, I think that's same as mine.
Battered. I can't even see. I don't want a new one. I want a new. I'm foolish. I need a new one, right? Or I might get a new screen. But what I'm really trying to say is that doesn't sit right with me. That if I lose my phone,
I hear it.
Yeah, like, okay, I got my card. What if my card was in my Apple Pay?
Which is me. I don't walk with anything. I see. I'm locked in. I'm sorry. I'm locked in.
Yeah. So that's.
I got issues.
I need to work towards. You know, like before, we had a phone where you just ring the person, or if you.
I missed that Nokia 3310. I missed the Sony Ericsson. When that just that beep, and then you knew the call was coming in. The interference with the radio. There was no, let me look and see who's doing what on the internet. Now we're freaked.
Yeah, I need to go back. I'm going to go backwards a bit.
I wanted to get the Ericsson. I wanted to get the Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, I'm going to go backwards because it's all still possible, right?
1-to-1, pay as you go.
Yeah, like, because abs,
20 quid.
You need normality. So along
3G, man, 3G.
Yeah, the smartphone now. But you need to be like, right, who am I without this smartphone? I still need to be someone, bro. If I ain't got,
you ask someone in your 20s that though, Wiley.
They can't do it. They can't do it.
I was about to say, you ask someone in their 20s, what are they without a smartphone? I think we can semi-do it, but they couldn't.
My kids can't live without smartphone and internet, which is why, listen, I'm the dad. I'm not supposed to be the same as you. You are the kids. I can live without. So when my day, there was no smartphone, okay? And there was no internet. So I can do it, right?
I'd struggle.
I want them to chase. I want them to chase thingy, but like part of me, even my mum before. My mum was like, I was like, oh no. My mum was like, so my mum told me a story. Someone got arrested, and the way the person got caught, the police saw the phone records. The phone was in that area, and then the phone moved to this. You know, like. So they got caught because the phone, right?
Tracked.
Yeah.
Never mind the facial recognition cameras that's everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? Or tapping your card or whatever.
Bro, electric cars. Are we gonna? We're not going down this rabbit hole. We're not doing it.
I know. I don't want to, but listen.
But you know what it is? It's Skynet.
Yeah, I'm quite accessible as a person. I walk around normally. I'm quite accessible.
Yeah.
You can talk, right? I don't mind that one, like the real life one. Like you might see me. I like that food shop in Birmingham, Bing's. Remember? So
Yeah.
Normal life, right? But I like that one. I don't like the where I am. I'm not going to commit a crime, but I don't
it's the big brother thing, isn't it?
I don't want someone to know.
Yeah, but also social skills as well. Have you found out that you can speak to people online? They're like beautiful pen pals, write fantastic articles when they're speaking to you online, and you see them face to face, and they've got no convo. They're not able to communicate face to face. So this is the level that we're dealing with. It's like they've got a tap in. Like they're beautiful online, but you try and have a normal conversation with people offline. They don't know how to communicate.
Understand.
Rigged.
All right, listen, Abs, I'm going to get some food. I'm really hungry. I'm going to get
I haven't had any breakfast.
Have some breakfast. I'm going to holler you again. We'll come back, right? But I've got to get some.
When are you coming to the UK?
I'll be there in a few days. I'm only in Amsterdam. I'm just in Amsterdam. I'm just in Amsterdam, mate. I should be at work. I'll probably go to the coffee shop, get stoned, and then I will go to the studio, and then I will come back. What I'm doing here, I have work in London.
Yeah.
But what I'm actually doing here is just wait. I was trying to wait till Monday or Tuesday. This was last week. So I'll wait till Monday or Tuesday, come back to England, go and see my mum, and go and do what I'm supposed to be doing instead of in the coffee shop. Okay,
I hear that, but we need to do something where we are face to face.
Yeah,
and I
like,
I know you're quite nomadic, and it's like, you'll phone me.
I'll be there.
I'm there.
Listen, there's loads of things coming up.
Yeah,
any of them we can go, and anything wherever you are, I will come and I will be there. Like it's not a problem. Like I'm a fanatic the same as you, and I love it just as much as you. I can't believe
nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't believe what happened last night. I don't want to. I just can't believe those two people got in there. They did that to the very end. They went someone wanted to win. Like it wasn't like someone was trying to outsmart someone.
Nah.
Like, they both wanted
I'm going to batter the hell out of you.
Which can make it messy and not so cute, but we don't care. We don't care because people will prefer that than like a masterclass.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. We want to see tear-ups. Sometimes the beauty of boxing is beautiful, but we want to see the tear-ups as well. You know what? I might fly out to Holland one of the days, you know.
Yeah. Anytime I'm there, Abs. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Right, we're gonna go. Listen, I need to say thank you very much to the chat. Thank you for all the comments that you put in the chat. Wiley, as per usual, brilliant guest. We're gonna do this again. But yeah, for now we're gonna say au revoir, I guess.
Yes, bless up, big up the chat. Love you. See you again.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.